In this video, we are going to cover the practice problems for MTE1 operations with positive fractions. Problem number 1 asks us if you have 4 quarters, 3 dimes, 2 nickels, and 2 pennies, what fraction of the whole coin collection is dimes? So we're going to figure out how many coins we have in total. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2. It's going to be 7 plus 2 is 9 plus 2 is 11 coins. So our fractional part that's dimes is going to be 3 out of 11. It's going to be the part that you want to consider over the total part. Problem number 2 asks us to write 5 7/8 as an improper fraction. To do that, we're going to multiply the whole part times the denominator plus the numerator, all divided by the denominator. It's going to be 40 plus 7 over 8, which is 47 over 8. There's no common factor in 47 and 8 that we need to simplify. Number 39 asks us to go number 3 asks us to go the other way. 29 divided by 5. 5 goes into 29. 5 times. With a remainder of 4, which can be written as 4/5. So we have 5 4/5. Find the prime factorization of 180. We're going to use a factor tree for this. Sorry, number 4 before that says to write 3 times 3 times 3 times 5 times 5 using exponents. So this is going to be 3 to the 3rd power, 5 to the 2nd power, because there's 3 3s. Put a little exponent of 3 in the base of 3. And since there are 2 5s, put a little exponent of 2 on 5s. Now we're going to do number 5. It asks us to find the prime factorization of 180. We're going to start with 2 times 90. 2 is a prime number. 2 times 45. 2 is a prime number. 45 is not even anymore, so we're going to see if 3 goes into it. 3 times 15. 5 is 3 times 5. So 180 is going to be made up of 2s, 3s, and 5s. There's 2 2s, 2 3s, and only 1 5. I don't need to put an exponent of 1 there. Number 6 asks us to write 24 over 90 in simplest form. So I'm going to think of the prime factorization of 24, the prime factorization of 90. (24) is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, and 90 is 2 times 3 times 3 times 5. Do some factor trees if you need to figure those out. I'm going to take the common factors that divide out to make 1, and I'm going to cancel them. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. I have no more 2's in the denominator to cancel, so I'm going to look at the 3's. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So the remaining 2's in the top multiply to give me 4, and 3 times 5 multiply to give me 15. In the bottom, 4/15 is my answer. 7 asks us to find the ratio of 14 days to 3 weeks. Well, let's get them in the same units first. That 14 days is the same thing as 2 weeks. If we can convert them to the same unit, we do that with a proportion. If we can't do that, then we don't do that. But our proportion there is going to, our ratio is going to be 2 to 3. Eight. Find the ratio of 4 teachers to 134 students. Now, there is no equivocation here between teachers and students, so we're going to have to reduce. Both of them are even numbers, so I'm going to divide the top and the bottom by 2. That means that there's 2 teachers for every 67 students. Now we're going to write 400 miles in 8 hours. In the simplest form, 8 divides into 400 evenly. 8 goes into 40 5 times. 8 goes into 0 0 times. Miles per hour is one of the special units that we write the abbreviation MPH for that. You could also write miles divided by hours if you would like to, but we would read it as miles per hour. For number 10, it asks us to find the LCM of 8, 12, and 36. I'm going to use factor trees here to do this. Eight is 2 to the 3rd. 12 is 2 squared times 3. And 36 is 2 squared times 3 squared. So my LCM is going to have to be made up of 2's and 3's. I'm going to look for the highest exponent on the base of 2 is 3. The highest exponent on the base of 3 is 2. So my LCM is going to be 8 times 9 is going to be 72. Now let's do that for the LCD for 1/5, 1/4, and 1/9. The LCD is going to be the same thing as the LCM of 5, 4, and 9. These are all relatively prime because 5 is a prime number, 4 is only made up of 2's, 9 is only made up of 3's. So I'm going to have to multiply them all together since they have no factors in common. Like we had up here, my LCM is going to be equal to 5 times 4 times 9 is going to be 20 times 9 is going to be 180. That's going to be the least common denominator for these fractions. And I have fractions that I want to compare, like 3/4 and 11/15. I have a couple options. I can make them have the same denominator. So in this case, I could multiply this one by 15/15, and this one by 4/4 to get this to be 45/60, and this one to be 44/60. They're the same fractions, so the inequality sign would be the same. like that. Another option is that if I start off with 3/4 and 11/15, the inequality is preserved in these positive fractions. If I cross multiply, 3 times 15 and 11 times 4, this is 45, this is 44. So the inequality is preserved the entire way. Take your pick, both of those are appropriate methods from MTE 1. We're going to now add or subtract 3/16 plus 5/16 have a common denominator of 16. So we're going to write that common denominator, and we're going to write the addition or subtraction in the numerator. This is going to give me 8/16. 8 goes into 16 evenly 2 times. 8 goes into 8 evenly 1 time. So our simplified fraction is 1/2. (25/64) minus 17/64. We're going to write our common denominator of 64 and leave this as 25 minus 17 is going to give us 8/64. 8 goes evenly into 64 8 times. 8 goes evenly into 8 1 time. And our answer will be 1/8. Now they want us to deal with some mixed numbers. 4 and 1/4. I'm going to do this vertically. Minus 2 and 3/4. I can't subtract 3 from 1, so I'm going to borrow 4 from 4 to make that 3. I'm going to add 4/4 to 1/4, and this is going to become 5/4. 5 minus 3 is 2. 3 minus 2 is 1. 2/4 simplifies to give me 1/2. So my final answer is 1 and 1/2. Now they want us to add 3/12 to 4/50. Neither of these fractions are reduced to start off with. Maybe that helps us, maybe it doesn't. In this case, it doesn't look like it does help us. I'm going to simplify here. This is the same as 1/4 plus 2/25. Now I can see more clearly that the LCD is going to be 100 between them. If I multiply by 25/25 and 4/4, I'm going to have 25 plus 8/100 is going to give me 33/100, and that'll be my final answer. Let's try that subtraction problem next. 7/18 minus 5/24. These have unlike denominators, and we can't simplify anything first to make the problem easier. So let's find the LCD. 18 is 2 times 3 squared. 24 is 2 to the 3rd times 3. So our LCD is going to be 2 to the 3rd times 3 squared is 8 times 9 is going to be 72. That means I have to multiply by 4/4 here to get 72 in the denominator. And I have to multiply by 3/3 here to get 72 in the denominator. It gives me 28 minus 15 over the common denominator of 72. will give me 13 over 72. 13 is not a factor of 72 because we have all the factors of 72 right here in our LCD. It's only made up of 2's and 3's. 13 is a prime number, so this is our final answer. Number 18 asks us to subtract 41 with no fractional part and 23 and 3/7. So we're going to borrow 1 and turn that into 7/7 so that we can subtract. 7 minus 3 is going to be 4. Now we're going to have to borrow again because we can't subtract 3 from 0. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 3 minus 2 is 1. And we end up with 17 and 4/7. Now ready for some multiplication and division of fractions. Number 19 asks us to multiply 12 over 56 times 14 over 42. It's easiest to break these down into their prime factors and then cancel like we did before, than to try and make bigger numbers and try and find the common factors from them. If I can see common factors right away, though, that are bigger numbers, like I see that 6 goes into both 12 and 42, I'm going to go ahead and take out the 6. This is 6 times 7. 7 goes into 14 2 times. 2 goes into 56 28 times. And this 2 goes into there 14 times. I should end up with 1 over 14. Now that probably was a lot of crossing out and hard for you to follow, so I'm going to do it again with breaking everything down into prime factors, and we'll get the same answer. So 12 is 2 times 2 times 3, and 14 is 2 times 7. 56 is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. And then 42 is going to be 2 times 3 times 7. Okay. So 2 and 2 make a 1. 2 and 2 make a 1. 3 and 3 make a 1. 2 and 2 make a 1. 7 and 7 make a 1. I'm left with a 1 up top. 1 over 2 times 7 is 1 over 14. And it's the same answer. Number 20 asks us to multiply 1 and 5/16 times 3/4. So to do that, we're going to have to change 1 and 5/16 to an improper fraction. That's going to give us 16 plus 5 is 21 over 16 times 3 over 4. I don't see any common factors now. 3 doesn't divide evenly into 16. 3 doesn't divide into 4. 4 doesn't divide into 21, so I'm just going to multiply straight across. This is 63 over 64, and I'm done. 21 asks us to divide 4 over 15 by 5/6. Another way that we could write that that's equivalent is going to be 4/15 divided by 5/6. So we're going to leave the first fraction alone. We're going to change the division to multiplication, and we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. I see a 3 that's in common here. 3 goes into 6 2 times. 3 goes into 15 5 times. I don't see anything else in common between numerator and denominator. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 5 is 25. Starting to get a little laggy because I've written so much on my whiteboard, so I'm going to clear my whiteboard here. There we go. Now we want to divide 4 3/7 by 1 2/9. So we're going to change these to improper fractions again. 28 plus 3 is 31. 9 plus 2 is 11. And nothing simplifies there. So we're going to have 279/77. And we're going to say, oh boy, that's an interesting number, right? So let me change this problem just to make it more interesting. I think that they meant for this to be 5/7. So let's make that 33/7. And let's make this 11/9. It's 33. I think they meant to do one of these or something cancels. Okay, so that's going to be 27/7. And 7 goes into 27 3 times with 6 left over. You can do the other problem if you want to. The answer should be provided on the answer key at the bottom, but always look to see if things cancel once you get to the multiplication. Don't try to cancel with division written there. Make sure that it's written as multiplication fractions before you try and do any cancellation. Okay. Now we're going to do some order of operations problems. 3/4 minus 2/5 times 7/12. And let's go ahead and do our multiplication. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 5 times 6 is 30. 1 times 7 is 7. So our least common denominator here is going to be 60. 15 times 4 is 60. 2 times 30 is 60. So we have 45 minus 14/60. When we take 4 away from 5, we get 1. When we take 1 away from 4, we get 3. 31 is a prime number. We're done. Let's do problem number 24 now. 3/4 plus 5/9 times 12/15. Well, 12/15 already has a multiple of 3/3 that can come out. 5 goes into 5 one time. So this is 3/4 plus 4/9. I'm going to multiply by 9/9 here and 4/4 here because this is only 2s, this is only 3, so I need to multiply these two numbers together. 27 plus 16 over 36 is going to give me 6 and 7 makes 13. 1 and 2 is 3, and another one is 4. Over 36 is going to be 1 and 7/36. Now on to some of the word problems. 15 of the students are male and 18 of the students are female. In a math class, what fractional part are female? There's 18 females. Out of 15 plus 18 is 33 total students. That fraction can be reduced though. This is 6 out of every 11 students is female. Depth of a tire tread is currently, or of a new tire is 9/32 of an inch. After 2 months, 1/16 of an inch is lost. What depth of the tire remains? Common denominator here is going to be 32. This is 9 minus 2 over 32. It's going to be 7/32 of an inch of tread remains. If you lose 3.5 pounds the first week of your diet and 2 2/3 pounds the second week, how many pounds do you still need to lose if you were trying to lose 10 pounds? So your goal was 10, right? Common denominator is going to be 6 here. So this is 60 over 6 minus, this is 7 over 2. We're going to make that times 3 over 3. This is 6. This is 8 over 3. This is 2 over 2. This is going to be 60 minus 21 minus 16 all over 6 is going to be 39 minus 16 is going to be 23 over 6 is going to be 3 5/6 pounds. That's what you need to lose still. Could have done that with our mixed numbers, stacking them vertically. Let's go ahead and do that. 10 minus 3.5. So we're going to have to borrow here. Minus 2 2/3. So this is going to be the same as 3 over 6. This is going to be the same as 4 over 6. I'm going to have to borrow again. 9 minus 4 is going to be 5/6. 5 minus 2 is going to be 3. It works either way. Okay. If you're paid $5.50 an hour to mow lawns and you take 3 1/3 hours, that would be 3 hours and 20 minutes to mow a yard. How much money are you owed? So $5.50 per hour times 10/3 hours. I'm just changing that mixed number to an improper fraction here. So this is going to be 55 divided by 3. We're going to round this to the nearest cent. 3 goes into 5 one time with 2 left over. 3 goes into 25 8 times with 1 left over. 3 goes into 10 3 times with 1 left over. 3 goes into 10 3 times with 1 left over. So the next number here would be another 3. We're going to round down to the nearest cent, $18.33. Sorry, but they can't pay you 1/3 of a cent. So you're going to have to be paid in whole cents, and you're going to be nice, and you're going to use regular rounding rules. You're going to round down in this case. All right. If you wanted to, though, it would be appropriate in business to say you owe me more than $18.33. So the only way you can pay me more than $18.33 is to pay me $18.34, and you could always round up. So that is appropriate to do that in business. Full barrel of oil holds 53 3/4 gallons of oil. It's a conversion factor that I have. All right. So now we have 10 3/4 gallons are used every week. How many weeks will it last? So divided by 10 3/4 gallons per week. So let's make these some improper fractions here. So this is 212 plus 3 is 215 over 4 gallons per barrel times, let's just leave it divided by right now, 43 quarters gallons per week. Okay, so we're going to leave the first fraction alone, including its units. Or multiplied by the reciprocal of the second fraction, including its units. Okay, gallons are going to cancel with gallons. 4 is going to cancel with 4. 43 is going to go into 215 evenly. 43 goes into 215 exactly 5 times. So our answer is going to be 5 weeks exactly. New iPod Shuffle holds 500 songs. You have loaded 310 of your favorite songs out of the total of 500. What fraction of the total number of songs does this 310 songs represent? So they're both divisible by 10. 31's a prime number, can't be broken down anymore, and it doesn't go into 50 evenly. So we are done. It's 31/50. Surgery patient needs to lose 24 pounds. They lose 6.5 pounds. The first appointment, and 8 2/5 pounds. Second appointment, how much more do they need to lose? Okay, let's do this again this way. If you knew the decimal equivalents for this, this would make this easier, but that's our next unit on decimals. So we're going to make this 17 5/10 minus 8 4/10 by multiplying this one by 5/5 and this one by 2/2. is 1/10, and this is 8 away from 17 is 9. We need to lose 9 and 1/10 pounds. And I need to clear my whiteboard. Okay. You're purchasing ingredients for cooking project in culinary school. You're making a new salmon dish. Salmon costs $6 per pound. Find the cost of 3 2/8 pounds. Sorry, 3 2/3 pounds times $6 per pound. Okay, so that is 18, 20, no, not 18. This is 9 plus 2 is 11 thirds pounds times $6 per pound. Pounds will cancel. This is 66 divided by 3 is exactly $22 would be what you would spend on salmon. And you have budgeted 2/5 of your monthly income for rent and utilities. Your monthly income is $2,100. So 2/5 of $2,100. 5 goes into there 4 times, with 1 left over. 5 goes into 10 2 times. That's exactly $420. 2 times $420 is $840 for your rent and utilities. Then you could subtract the 420 from the 2,100 to get the remaining amount, or you could subtract 2/5 from 1 to get 3/5. I'm going to just take 3 times the 420 because I already cut that into fifths. So this is going to be 1260 is what's remaining. Here's your part A and part B. Okay, we've got just a few problems left here. Car uses 15.5 gallons of gasoline on a 310-mile trip. Find miles per gallon. So we want miles on top divided by 15.5 gallons because we want miles per gallon. This is going to be 310. This is 31/2. And so this is going to be 310 miles times 2/31, and the gallons have to go to the bottom because they were in the top here, and I'm multiplying by the reciprocal. 31 goes into 310 10 times. So this is going to be 2 times 10. It's going to be 20 miles per gallon is another one of those units that we can abbreviate as MPG. Nurse orders that you give a child 3.5 tablespoons of medicine per day in 4 equal doses. 3.5 tablespoons split into 4 doses, right? So this is going to be 6 plus 1 is 7 halves times 1/4 is going to give me 7/8 of a tablespoon per dose. Okay. And the last one, to maintain financial aid, a student must pass at least 2/3 of their attempted credits each semester. If the student is attempting 16 credits, 2/3 of those 16 credits would give me 32/3. So this is going to give me 10 2/3. But wait a second, I can't pass 2/3 of a credit. Logically, I'm going to have to pass more than this to meet the financial aid requirement. So I'm going to need to pass at least 11 credits, because you can only pass whole credits. You can't pass a part of a credit. So that's one of those cases where you need to round up, like we were talking about before. Okay, that's all of the MTE1 problems. This has been our review of operations with positive fractions. Take a look at some of the other videos if you want to see other things such as operations with positive decimals and dealing with linear equations in 1 variable, linear equations in 2 variables, graphing linear equations, rules of exponents and factoring, how to deal with rational expressions, how to deal with radical expressions, and how to deal with quadratic equations. All right. Thank you.